beautiful ones. Give me a moment just to bring in everybody. Um, let's see. Okay. All right, beautiful ones. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Spiritual Awakening as an embodied way of living. Hello, Becky. Oh my goodness, thank you so much for being here. I'm just gonna, because just so you all know, I'm also live on Instagram just in case you can't hear me here on Facebook, and I always have a little backup. But if you can hear me on Facebook, let me know, Becky, if you can hear me. That'll be amazing. Um, and also because on Instagram, I can play with the filters, and that's pretty cool. All right. Okay. Right. Okay. Thank you, Becky. Thank you so much. All right, darling ones. I'm just gonna make sure everything is up and running, and I shall begin. I shall begin. I shall begin. So, how is everyone feeling today? Happy full moon. And I hope that you're having a very peaceful and gentle day for yourself, really feeling into all your manifestations and celebrating the harvest of all the dreams that you have planted. I definitely sat with tea today, and I've been playing with my beautiful new gemstone here. It's actually a sapphire, a white sapphire, and I've just been getting really acquainted with this powerful, powerful being here. Really, this rock person, as I call it, and really, really, really feeling into all the energies that are surrounding us today. So I really wanted to pop in here and talk a little bit about something that is really dear to my heart, and also something I've been hearing a lot from the community here, and also on Insight Timer and Instagram, wherever that I'm connected to you all. And I wanted to just chat a little bit about this as well, so that I can be of service to you in some way or another. All right. Okay, so one of the things that really, really stood out for me, and I would say the word spiritual awakening, um, is that somehow or another, somehow throughout time, or maybe the resurgence of the idea of being spiritual throughout the years, somehow it's become this idea that it is something that just happens, and then we close the chapter and we're done with it, right? But the more we do this work, the more we realize that it really isn't a whoo, I've woken up and that's it. It's more of this beautiful spiral that we cycle through again and again and again and again. And in that cycling, we're always constantly cycling upward. Hello, beautiful, welcome. And that upward spiral is the expansion that we're talking about. We are expanding and elevating our consciousness. We're going to be spiraling upward. And the way we elevate our consciousness, oftentimes, it is through things that happen. Hi, May! It's been so long! I hope you're well. So, when we're moving through the spiral, we are cycling through several different phases in our lives. When we find ourselves, for example, sitting in the void, in a place where we feel like we don't even know who we are anymore, or when we feel that, wow, I used to have such a big reaction to this thing, but now I don't. I'm quite apathetic to that now. And then we start to wonder, or at least your thinking mind starts to step in and starts to think, okay, is there something wrong with me that I'm not reacting to this anymore? Or is it because I don't care anymore? Or what is it? That time when you're in the void is actually a time when you actually feel your frequency is raising, it's going upward. And in the raising of the frequency, what's happening is that disintegration and letting go and surrender is happening for you. It's a time when you no longer need to force yourself to surrender, force yourself to let go. It just is, because as your frequency raises, these things that no longer serve you will fall away on its own as well. And that is why you begin to have a lightness of being. You no longer feel the heaviness. And so when we're in that space, if we don't understand what is going on, it's easy for us to begin to feel like we're out of control, or we don't know ourselves, that we lost ourselves. Oh no, maybe I become one of those Zen gurus that don't care about the world. It's not true. That's not the case. And this is why I talk so much, and I make it such a mission. Hi, Jamie. I make it such a purpose of mine to awaken women to understanding the rhythm of the cosmic law, because we all are star people. We are cosmic beings. We are all these energetic beings that have come into this physical form, and we're projecting our energy out into what we call our reality. And if we understand how to work with these cosmic laws, we become seated in our vortex of stillness. We walk our Tao with grace, because we understand, bye May, we understand that it is a cycle, it is a spiral, it's always been and always will be. And so rather than struggling and fighting our way against the current, we know when to swim with it. We know deeply and embodiedly, if that's a word, that we are the creator of our experience. So how are we going to live? How are we going to create the best that we can in this present moment? There is something I want to share about. I love this when I read about it last night, and I want to read this to you as well. Okay, so I talk about the work that I do, and if you are new to my world, welcome. I am a Cha Dao ceremonial keeper. Cha Dao is the way of tea in English, and it is an embodied way of living. And my work here is really, really to guide you as a woman to access and embody your own vortex of stillness. In other words, your Tao, so that you can live on purpose in your authentic power. Because too many of us give away our power to circumstances. We give our power away to how people see us, what people think we should be doing, or even just societal terms and conditions. And this is not to fault you or guilt you. It just is a conditioning that we need to start to become aware of. And to know that if it doesn't align with our truth, or if it doesn't feel good in us, it doesn't sit well with us, we got to learn discernment. We got to learn how to discern what is true for us and what is not. Because the truth is, if you do not face up to your truth in this lifetime, or in this time being, let's just say in this one lifetime, if you don't believe in karmic causes, you will always run into it again and again and again until you get it. Okay? So one of the things I love and I read last night in a beautiful ancient textbook is this. I want to read this out to you. Qi can be viewed simply as the movement or vibration of the subatomic particles of which all things are formed. The movement of the matter of the universe itself, in other words. Of course, Western scientists have also found that the world is actually composed of atoms that are all vibrating, as the subatomic particles within rotate at incredible velocity, acting as both particles and waves. All matter is, in fact, energy, and it is in a constant state of motion. By feeling this vibration as it also flows within us, we find a way to experience a concordance with the universe. In essence, Qi is the way that we can find a connection to the Tao and the insights that harmony affords us. The way of Qi is an expression of the deeper truth we find in connection with the universe, living truths about what it means to be human, to be alive. So I love this, and I wanted to share it with you all because it is something that is deeply, profoundly true, and we tend to forget. Quantum science was birthed when the scientists were trying to figure out if the photons were particles or waves. I'm going to go a little bit scientific here with you today because I want you to know that you are both. You are both. Particle or waves, physical or energy, formless or form. You are both. And it is our work to live in both sides of the spectrum. We want to understand that all the time, never not. We're actually doing this all the time, even without us realizing it, is that we are constantly ascending and descending all the time. And so, coming back to today's topic about spiritual awakening, there was a time in my life when I first stepped into meditation, when I first opened up my third eye, my Kundalini awakening, that I felt truly blissed out when I was doing the work. I don't even think I would call it the work, to be honest, because at that time it was really just being in that space, feeling truly blissed out because my consciousness completely shut off, and I was just living in such a joyful state when I was meditating. And then the minute I finish meditating, the minute I get off my mat, the minute I step out of my flat, back when I was living in Hong Kong, I was just assailed by so many just sensorial attacks. I was just, poof, I was just blown away, and I would feel so sensitive. I couldn't even go into a pub, and I would, my day would still feel like, if my boss had a bad day, then I would have a bad day. Or if my boyfriend at the time, who's my husband now, pissed me off, I would feel pissed off as well. And so I was really in a place where I started to feel really curious because I was thinking, well, it can't just be like that. It just can't be meditation and then there's a separation of life. Stepping out of the meditation room, I feel like another different person. Coming into a meditation room, I feel like a different person. It can't be like that. I just felt like there was something missing here that I'm not seeing. And so I set out on my own path, and I really wanted to find out. I was just really this energy of perpetual thirst for knowledge. I wanted to know. And in fact, one of the things that really happened so beautifully was that because of this intention that I set out into the world, again, going back to quantum science, knowing that whatever you intend, you will see. So I wanted to know. And so what happened next was I received an invitation to a tea ceremony. And like some of you probably know this story, I felt truly for the first time ever in my entire life when I went to the tea ceremony and I heard tea spirits speak to me that I was truly home again. I'm home. I'm free. I feel at peace for the first time ever in my life. And it made me want to learn more. Like, I'm like, who is this? Who is this tea spirit? What is tea ceremony? What is it about? How is this changing my life completely already, even though I don't know anything about it, right? And so the truth of the matter is you will see what you desire to see. You will get what you desire to get. setting the intention and giving it the ferocity of your feelings, your sincerity is the key to manifestation. And obviously, there are so many things beyond that, because once you awaken spiritually, it's just really the beginning. You know, your mind is such a powerful tool. If it's left alone to run amok, it will do its own thing. And that is why so many spiritual people cannot land in this world. They try to run away from basic necessities. They want to run away from responsibilities. They want to live in this kumbaya space. But as a leader, as a person who's truly here to make a difference, and we all came into this world to make a difference, by the way, we can't live like this. And I'm not saying this to fault anyone. Again, I'm really, really saying this, and I'm emphasizing this because everyone makes a choice. And here's the cool thing. Once you make that choice, and if it's not aligned with your soul purpose, you know, you'll come back in the next lifetime to repeat this lesson again. It's always been this way. It's the rhythm of cosmic law. And so sometimes, you know, when clients come to me and they would say, I really, really don't know how to let go of this thing that has happened to me. I really don't know what to do. I really, really want to let it go, but I just don't know how. I would always say, you would never need to force yourself to let go of anything, because we will eventually, all of us, cycle through to the stage of letting go. We will. And the question then would be, once you arrive at that stage, will you let go? And if you do, great, you will continue to spiral upward. If you don't, you will just cycle back here again to the same story, the same kind of energy, maybe a different situation, but same lesson until you get it. And this is why I emphasize so deeply and so emphatically the importance of embodiment, embodying your expansion, embodying your awakening at every stage. Every stage, as you elevate your state of consciousness, we want to anchor that in. And the work I do with my clients is all about that. Because once we expand, just like the universe, when the universe is expanding, it's a pulse. The pulse of the universe, you might have heard of this, the cosmic pulse. The pulse means it goes like tuk tuk, tuk tuk, tuk tuk. It's just like our heartbeat. It's the same thing. Expand, contract. Expand, contract. Expand, contract. And if you watch my hands, it's always growing bigger. It's limitless. But there will always need to be a time when we expand, contract. And the contraction is in the anchoring. That is why sometimes we feel some aches and tension in our bodies, because that is our system asking the mind to anchor in. And the more the mind runs amok without any control, just running and running and running, doing its own thing and trying to control everything external without ever giving any consideration to what's within, the more pain and aches and tension and sickness and ailments will come through, because that is how the body is communicating to you. And you, my love, you are really, truly the cosmic being. You're the one in charge. You are meant to be in the driver's seat. And that means you have total leadership. You are the leader. You're the one with the leadership here to lead your mind and your body and your spirit and integrate them. And this will allow a seamless flow of energy that will allow you to access your cosmic magnificence. That is what spiritual awakening as an embodied way of living truly means. This is important to understand, because if I just went back a couple of years ago when I was in that state where I was meditating and I felt so good, and then the minute I leave my room, I would feel totally assailed. And I still remember there was this beautiful place where I did my practice, where I studied tea ceremony. They also had many different meditation practices, and they had this beautiful room where they could project the entire cosmos in the room, and you literally feel like you're sitting in the cosmos when you're in there. And I remember just kind of like sneaking off, during work, and during my break time, I would just go down and I would just go down and sit there, and I would join any meditation classes that were available at the time. I really remember feeling like, oh my God, like this is so good. I never want to leave. And then I would just be so baffled when I went back to work, because it was such a stark contrast, right? In the matter of like an hour or half an hour, I would remember sitting at my desk and feeling like, wow, why can't I bring that feeling into this table, this work? Why does it feel so different? Why do I feel like I need to shrink back into my former self after doing this? And at that time, actually my reality was projected in a way, because of the way I was feeling inside, that I wasn't honest with myself. My reality that was projected back to me was that I saw, friends, so-called friends, and colleagues who said to me like, I don't want to talk about that. Like, it's so awkward to talk about spiritual stuff. Like, I don't even know what you're talking about. Let's not go there, right? And I would always feel like I needed to hide that side of myself and separate that side from everyone else, which is also one of the reasons, like some of you probably know this, I started up, my another separate Instagram account, which is the account that I'm on right now, called When Still Waters Speak, because I wanted to wax lyrical about these things. I wanted to talk about it, I wanted to write about it, but I couldn't do it in my own normal space, my space, my own space. So it felt very separate as a reality. It almost felt like a fantasy. But I feel that it's time for me to really come in and really, really talk about this, because I see this so often in so many people that it's just crazy that we don't talk about this. It's like, why do we live such a separate life? Why do we have to hide our sacred gifts? Why do we have to hide what we do, what our practice is? Sometimes even when I talk to people about what I do every day as a non-negotiable cultivation of my spiritual practice, of my own sacredness, people would just be like, oh my God, you do this every day? I'm like, yeah, I do this every day because it is my life. I sit with tea every day. I meditate for at least an hour, non-negotiable. If it means that I need to wake up at 5 a.m. because I have a busy day ahead of me, so be it, because it's so important for me. It's part of my life. It's like showering. It's like going to the toilet, you know? It's so important that we understand that spiritual awakening is not like a, oh, I went to Peru and I sat with a guru, or I went to India and I went there and I sat with a guru and I came back with a certification and that's a spiritual awakening. No. Yes, maybe at some point that intensity of that experience has completely transformed your life, but where is the consistency? What is that you do every day? If you feel that that version of you, that spiritual version of you, is very separate from your real life, then this is the conversation for you. If you're walking the talk, if you're breathing and living in a way where you're like, okay, I am bringing the ceremonial self out from that space, out into the world, then yes, this is something you are already cultivating. Great, amazing, good for you. This is why in tea ceremonies, I talk so much about tea ceremony, because it was my way of finding something that allows that sacredness, that sacred space to stay with me all throughout the day. Throughout the day, when I'm walking into a supermarket, when I'm walking down the street, the busy street down into the city center, when I have to go into a pub to sit with my husband, it stays with me. And eventually, I am that vortex of stillness walking. I'm the vortex of stillness walking, breathing, coming into a space. I bring that into a room. This is what it feels like to be cultivating this work every day, every single day. And if you're working with me, if you're a client, we talk about this extensively because we have to understand that it's something that we need to remember. And in that remembrance, we're getting back in touch with our system, the subatomic particles that we're talking about. The empty spaces need to be infused with life again. We need to enliven them. All of this are in us. It's our body. Our body is the translator of the language of the cosmos. So it's important. It's an important conversation because my goodness, I can go on forever about how our entire body reflects the cosmic system. And if we ever run against the rhythm of the cosmic law, that's when we feel like we're not enough. We are constantly chasing. We are in scarcity. We are in fear. This is why it's so important, and ancient mystics have spoken about this for eons, to work with the cosmos. And more than that, in the work that I do, what I found is profoundly transformative and alchemical is that when we actually embody the cosmic system, learning how to breathe so that you can bring the cosmic proportions down here onto earth, how to anchor that in, how to root to rise. These are all the systems of the chakras, the etheric body, the astral body, the God body, and then down to your physical body, your mental body, your emotional body, how to master your emotions. All of them is this beautiful, beautiful, seamlessly designed container that I created so that you can learn to work with this and know that you can absolutely do whatever you want and be seated in your vortex of stillness. Absolutely. Absolutely, absolutely. And so I just want to finish it off today by saying that you've got it in you. You've got it. And when I speak about power, I want you to know it's not something that is meant to overpower someone, to impose your truth on her or him or them. It's power that comes from within you as a leader who truly is here to have this sense of everyone has power. I'm speaking to your highest self, but we're different. And so this will facilitate listening. This will facilitate your speaking all at once. It's the beauty of coming into ceremony and working with a plant that is so deeply understanding and all-seeing and so profoundly quietening for the mind. The thinking mind, when it quiets down, that's when you step in and you take the mic and you say, I am the goddess. I am the cosmic being. Hear me speak now. And your mind will find and follow you because now it knows how big you are. And that is important. It's so important. So my loves, I hope you're well. I hope you have received some of these codes and downloads today from this talk that I have. Because spiritual awakening, truly needs to be embodied if we're here to make a difference, if we're here to create an impact in the world. It's so important. We have to get out of that box where we are thinking just constantly about how are we going to make ends meet, how are we going to show this to the world, what kind of stuff do I post on social media, all this rubbish, because the truth is you're so much bigger than that. And when you let yourself lead, you will know exactly what to write, what to post, who to speak to. All of these things will line up for you. And yes, if you feel that you know what exactly you need to do, but you feel hesitant and you're resistant, there's probably some subconscious dissonance that you have to release. There are probably veils upon veils between your chakras that we need to clear out. And so, if that is something you truly are ready to do, DM me, let's have a chat, and I will point you to the best resources and connections or programs if you're interested in working with me. Whatever it is, it's a no pressure chat. I don't ever force hardcore sales on anyone. And just allow yourself to have this, because we only live this one life. And again, a mentorship is here to guide you, to fast track you to get to where you need to be, right? That's all it is. And if that's what you desire and you're ready for it, let's have a chat. Okay, sending you all so much love. And also, if you haven't yet, I have a beautiful free goddess to goddess transmission coming up called Peel Back. It's coming on the 14th live in a Zoom call, and it will be streamed live into the group as well. If you haven't signed up yet, please do. It's going to be amazing. It will be free for a limited time only, because after that I'll be taking it down and it'll be repackaged as something for sale. I just really felt very called to share that transmission, and so I will be doing that on the 14th. Until then, share the joy, share the message if you feel aligned. Sending you all so much love. Let me know if you do share. And I love you so much. And Becky, thank you. Becky is an amazing client of mine who's already seeing so much transformation. I just am so floored by the work that she puts in, the love she puts in, the joyous, the most joyous expansion that she allows herself to have. And so I just want to shout out to her, because I'm so grateful to have her. Thank you, my love. Thank you for showing the world what you're capable of and allowing in more of you, because we all need that. Okay? Anyone else who wants to be just as amazing or more, DM me. I'd love to chat with you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Deep love for all of you. Mwah! Big kisses. Bye bye.